So the next thing we're going to be talking about is our lone leader class assortment for Wave 1 of Transformers Legacy. It's going to be a lone leader class in the case assortment. One guy, two per case. Let's talk about Transformers Legacy leader class Laser Optimus Prime, as it's referred to here on the box. Now, for people who are unfamiliar, this is based on the original Generation 2 version of Laser Optimus Prime, aka Laser Rod Optimus Prime, which was this iconic long-nosed truck version. The very first time Optimus Prime was a long-nosed truck with flames on it, kind of beats the movie Michael Bay design by quite a few decades. And just had this iconic look to it. It had the oil tanker trailer, which was different. It had the big shoulders, the sword, all kinds of really unique stuff that was unique to that original G2 release back in 94, 95, that then just kept getting homaged throughout the years because people loved it so much, and it was such a staple of the character in its incarnations throughout the years. And even though it wasn't featured in the Marvel books, it did get quite a few pages in the manga in Japan and the story pages there, and was just really Optimus Prime's last design before the Beast era began in a lot of ways, if you don't count, like, I guess, the G2 GoBots in a lot of ways. And it's always been iconic. And so much so that when it did get a black repaint all those years later in Car Robots in Disguise, it created a whole new iconic character in that of Scourge or Black Convoy. And that became associated heavily with that mold. So chances are, we were betting, man, we know what repaint is going to come from this. Now, this design has been given homages throughout the years. We got a deluxe class in the Reveal the Shield Generations 2010 line. We had a Voyager class during the Titans Return stuff. So they constantly revisit this design of Optimus Prime and give it new iterations because of how popular it has been with the fandom throughout the years. It's a big, chunky Optimus with a sword. What more could you ask for? Now, this time around, what they're going to do is there's something that's really hearkening back to that of the original G2 toy, both in terms of the size of it, how it transforms, all the gimmicks, all the pieces, and then adding that legacy flavor of the gimmickry that's going on with that and beyond, which I'll get into. So we'll start with the alt mode when we have the oil tanker Optimus Prime. Looks pretty much like the original toy. I really dig that they went out of their way to really capture that aesthetic and stuff. If I have one complaint, it's really just a kind of a boring side panel of the tanker. The original toy obviously had those big stickers and stuff on the side that really added a nice color and flavor. I'm pretty sure third-party repro label companies are going to get all over this and give something for fans to fill in. But if you like it just with the molded gray plastic, and I'm sure it was a budget choice by Hasbro to do that, it works. It still looks great. Otherwise, it unfolds and transforms into a playset, which is what I like about it is it transforms into a playset very much like the original transformed into a playset. The way that it opens and folds out has a very similar kind of aesthetic and silhouette to it, and that's really cool. I really dig that a lot. Little robo arm, kind of dual blaster thing going on. And when we get to the robot mode of Optimus Prime, and some people have been speculating that this is a heavy retool using partials from the Earthrise Leader Class G1 Optimus Prime. Could be. I see some of what they're talking about here. But really, at the end of the day, it really is, in a lot of ways, its own figure. Just it matches it completely. It looks really good to that of the original toy, where some of the past versions that we had in the modern era, whether it be that deluxe class Laser Optimus Prime or the Voyager, just didn't have it 100%. This one has it 100%. I like that they even had the yellow on the lower parts of the shoulders to match the old stickers that was on the toy. Everything's really cool here, and the weapon that he comes with is two little clear weapons. One is, of course, based off of his laser rod sword, and the other one, while it's supposed to be like an Energon axe, it also doubles as a disc kind of weapon to throw back to the homage of the old disc launching gimmick that his trailer did back in the day. Also, with the trailer base mode, it has a removable turret that also doubles as a blaster for the figure too, which can be held. It's the little red turret there. So there's a lot of extra little gimmicks going on. Speaking of gimmicks, it also has two things that are more than meets the eye, no pun intended, going on outside of that. The chest opens up and it has a removable matrix of leadership. What I really like about this is that the original toy never addressed the matrix of leadership. When they did a reissue of G2 Optimus Prime, they changed the chest stickers to show a matrix of leadership was residing in his chest. It was just a sticker, of course, with that detail. So it showed that he still had the matrix. It still was with him. And of course, the Japanese fiction in the manga pages and stuff like that did show that he still had the Matrix when he was reformatted with the creation Matrix to become Laser Optimus Prime. So that's really cool. The Matrix attaches to, it has obviously a plug point that attaches to all the weapons and stuff. They show it here attaching to the disc accessory, which makes the kind of Energon axe for him. Really cool. And another extra gimmick is the fact that his shoulders open up, and these little shoulders open up to show little Energon missiles with clear plastic. So a nice extra touch there too. A lot of stuff going on here. Very, like, this is a leader class that's really packed with a lot of stuff going on, where I'm very impressed. Maybe it's because I have a soft spot for G2, and there's just so much little cool things from Transformers lore and history that are included here that just make me like it even more. I don't know. It just looks real good. And the packaging is awesome too. Like, it just shows that they're going with the leader classes are going to have the full art box kind of packaging. So there's just a lot of cool stuff here. And of course, we know it. Look at it now. There's going to be a black repaint of this guy coming. So pretty cool stuff. This is going to be our Wave 1 leader assortment. He will be standalone. Maybe he'll have a filler figure put with him, but this is going to be the standalone leader for Wave 1. We already talked about Wave 1 with the deluxes, but we still have one more thing to discuss, and it's that of the core classes that while we did not see them today, we will see them in a different shape or form, and that's art. And we're going to talk about that in the next segment. Obviously, if you want to learn more about the Voyager bulkhead, we did that segment 2 days ago, so you could jump into that also. And stay tuned for that, because we still got those core classes to talk about. Some art, some gimmicks, and the overall concept for the line. So I'll see you soon.